Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And the next important step, and it's a very important step for T-Mobile, is scale. Scale of retail, scale of network. We talk about it in videos. T-Mobile talks about it at their analyst day, but it's a really important next step for T-Mobile to become the size of company that they want to become. So here's a tweet from John Fryer. I will leave a link to that tweet in the description so you guys can check it out. So in this tweet, he's tweeting out a new store, a very first store that Bryan, Ohio is getting. And there's many other cities and towns that are getting stores that have never had any T-Mobile retail before. So in this area, for an example, is what T-Mobile would consider license to win. Not like this is an upgrade from license to play to now license to win. That means the network is good enough and they now have retail distribution in that town. And that's how they're moving forward, and they continuously scale. But now the coverage part of it has to also be priority in that. In order for them to get to license to win, the coverage has to be there. So I've unofficially been told T-Mobile is right around 2.51 million square miles covered. And of course, a large part is still LTE. The last time they reported publicly, their 5G network covers 1.9 million, which I assume is now probably more like 2 million to 2.1 million. And the overall network is 2.51. In comparison, what Verizon, from what I found online, what Verizon claims publicly, they cover 2.6 million. So again, not a huge difference. Of course, it's still a gap, but it's not to where it's not competitive. It's competitive enough to where now T-Mobile's large enough to get AAA, to sign a partnership with UPS, and who knows what else they will strike moving forward in terms of partnerships. Right? The only carrier, and Neville Ray, if you guys remember, he mentioned this, the only carrier that's claiming to have a larger lead now on network is AT&T through FirstNet. They're claiming 2.91 million, right? Although that's not reflected on crowdsourced maps, I think it will take time because a lot of these areas that AT&T covers, you and I don't frequent. And I bet you a lot of people aren't mapping there. Like the tribal lands, who's mapping that? AT&T announced they have coverage there now. And there's probably several other areas that nobody's mapping. So it's going to be tough to tell from a crowdsourced perspective, but the fact that AT&T receives reimbursements through FirstNet, I think they probably are now the largest. If I had to take a guess without looking at crowdsourced maps, I probably would have to say that they are the largest. But again, T-Mobile's closing the gap. By the end of the year, there will be a bigger network. By the end of 2024, again, they will be a bigger network, and they will be competitive. They will grow the coverage. They will grow the retail distribution footprint. And I think that's the next important step for the company and the direction they're heading in. They recently claimed they now have, understand this, they have 16.5% share in rural areas. Fair share is 33%. So they have some ways to go, but I think they crushed their 20% goal by 2025. And I said this in previous videos. I think they do 22 to 25, in my opinion. So let me know what you think about that. Let me know if you think the next important step is to scale. They're not far off, but they have some ways to go. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel, like, share, subscribe. I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.